The chapter we are going to begin today is acids, bases and salts. In this chapter, we will first learn to differentiate between acids and bases. We'll learn the definition. Why are some substances called acids while the other are called bases? What is the difference in their properties? Acids behave in a particular manner and bases behave differently. They have different chemical properties. We will learn that. We will also learn how to identify acids and bases. How to know if a particular solution is an acid or it is a base. Now there are some common acids that you have learned, like hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid, nitric acid and acetic acid. These are all acids. So first we have the hydrochloric acid, we write it as HCl. Then we have sulfuric acid, we write it as H2SO4. Then we have the nitric acid and we write it as HNO3. We have the acetic acid. This is the acid, the vinegar that we use in our homes, and we write it as CH3COOH. All these are acids, and if you were to taste the acids, you are not, the strong acids like hydrochloric acid and sulfuric acid, you're not supposed to taste them. Okay, in very dilute form maybe you can taste them, but you're not supposed to taste them. Now they are all sour to taste, sour in taste. And there's another thing, they turn blue litmus red. The red litmus will remain red in the presence of an acid. But however, if you have blue litmus, will turn red in the presence of an acid. So the red litmus turns red, while the blue litmus turns red in the presence of an acid. Now for some examples of bases, there is sodium hydroxide is a base, and we write it as NaOH. Then we have potassium hydroxide is also a base, and we write that as KOH. We have calcium hydroxide, which is CaOH twice here. We have ammonium hydroxide, which is NH4OH. These are all bases, and bases are bitter in taste. What do they do to litmus? Here the bases, the blue litmus remains blue. However, the red litmus turns blue. This is what that is what base do. A blue litmus will remain blue in the presence of a base, but a red litmus will turn blue in the presence of the base. We will learn in the next slide what is litmus and how it helps us to identify an acid or a base. So to summarize what we learned here, we learned the acids and bases and the different properties of acids and bases. Examples of these were the examples of acids here: HCl, sulfuric acid, nitric acid, acetic acid. We said they were sour to taste. They turned red litmus, kept red litmus red, but blue litmus turned red in the presence of an acid. But when it comes to a base, we have examples: sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide, calcium hydroxide, ammonium hydroxide. All were bases. There are many more bases. These are just a few examples. They are bitter to taste. The blue litmus turns blue or remains blue, while the red litmus becomes blue. So we'll learn about an indicator called litmus. This litmus is called a color indicator. Why is it called a color indicator? Because it shows different colors in an acid and in a base. When it is in an acid, it shows a red color, and when it is in a base, it shows a blue color. Since it shows different color in an acid and in a base, we can use it to identify an acid or a base. Look in this picture here. Here we have litmus. This is litmus, which is purple in color. Have you seen the color of litmus? It is purple. And when it is used, when it turns pink, if you put it in an acid, here they have added it to an acid and it has turned pink or reddish. And here they have added it in a base and it has turned blue. However, in a neutral substance, which is not an acid nor a base, it remains violet or purple in color. So litmus is a pH indicator. It tells us if a substance is acidic or basic. Now litmus is extracted from a lichen. Now here is a picture of the lichens. These are lichens. Have you seen this? These grow on trees. They are lichen. They belong to the group called Pterophyta, which we learnt last year in diversity. And from this lichen, litmus is extracted. The purple dye litmus is extracted from such lichens. Not any lichens, it's a particular lichen from which the litmus is extracted. Now this litmus is a purple dye. As you can see in the picture, it is a purple dye, but it has got one very amazing property. When it is put in an acid, it turns red like this here in an acid, and when you put it in a base, it turns blue. If not, it remains violet in color. Here we will learn about indicators. Now what are indicators? Acid-base indicators, they indicate the presence of an acid or a base in a solution. And we have two kinds of indicators. We have the color indicator, the color indicators, and then we have the olfactory indicator, and we will talk about these in detail. From the word color indicator means they show one color in an acidic medium and they show another color in a basic medium. Those are called color indicators. And the examples of color indicators are here. The first one is red cabbage, which we already are quite familiar with. So this is a color indicator, the red cabbage. Then turmeric, or what we call haldi, is also a color indicator. Then this flowers we have seen very often around. They're called hydrangea. Okay, so this, see, there are two colors. They are pink and they are purple. If the medium is acidic, if the soil is acidic, it will show one color, and if the soil is basic, it shows another color. So these petals also are acid indicator. These are called hydrangea. These flowers also act as indicators. That is petunia. Have you seen they come in two different colors? If your soil is acidic, they will come like reddish or pinkish in color. The same plant, if your soil is basic, it will be a little purplish in color. And these are geranium, which are also indicators. The petals can be used to show if it's an acid or a base. They show different colors in an acid and base. So all these examples are natural indicators. What do you mean by indicators? They are color indicators. Why do we call them color indicators? Because they show different color in an acid and a different color in a base. Different color in acid and base. Then we have the olfactory indicators, like here. These are examples of olfactory indicators. The word olfactory relates to smell. So these indicators show one smell in acidic medium and a different smell in basic medium. The example is vanilla. That is the essence that we use in our cakes and other pastries. It is made from pods like this. The onion, olfactory indicator. It has got different smell in an acid and a different smell in a base. And then this is clove. All these are olfactory indicators. We'll just put it down again. For olfactory, they give different smell in acid and base. So indicators, first just go over it again. So we have two indicators. What are indicators? Which show different properties in an acid or a base. We have the color indicator. Examples of this was red cabbage, turmeric, hydrangea, petunia, geranium. All these are color indicators. They give one color in an acid. You put them in the base, they show a different color. Then we have the olfactory indicators, which give different smells. In an acid, you add them to an acid, you get one kind of smell. The same indicator you add in a base, you get a different smell. And hence they are called olfactory indicators. So they help us to differentiate between acids and bases. Now we'll see what happens when we try to wash a turmeric stain. Here is a tablecloth, a cloth with a turmeric stain on it. This is the stain. This stain is of turmeric and hence it is yellow. Now remember, turmeric is an indicator. Now to wash this stain away, I'm going to add some soap to it. So I'd say, so here I add some soap to it, hoping to wash away the stain. But to my surprise, when I add soap to it, the whole color of turmeric now changes. It now becomes this reddish brown in color. And the reason is because soap is basic in nature. And when turmeric is added to a base, it turns reddish brown in color. You get this color when turmeric is added to a base, and this base of ours is soap. So when turmeric is added to soap, it turns reddish brown in color. Then what I do later, I wash it away. Then I add water here and I try to wash it away, hoping my turmeric stain will go. But after I wash it away, what remains is, back again I get the yellow stain. So every time to this yellow stain, when I add soap to this yellow stain, like here I'm adding soap here, this yellow stain turns reddish brown in color. And when I put water, I wash it with water, once again it becomes yellow. So why does this happen? I'm just repeating it, because soap being basic in nature, and when it adds on to turmeric, when soap adds to turmeric, it becomes reddish brown. So I can say turmeric with a base changes the color from yellow, it becomes reddish brown in the presence of turmeric. So the yellow color turns, I'll put it up again here. This yellow color turmeric will turn here reddish brown in color when turmeric is added. When soap is added, not turmeric, when soap is added. Because soap is basic in nature. In the presence of a base, turmeric becomes reddish brown in color.